Hello!
Hello everyone, I am back.
He has a voice again.
As opposed to what I had before, which was mostly a wind. Not a voice in the wind, one whole wind.
But he took tablets for it and now he's better.
Yeah, indigestion can be a real bitch.
Yeah, especially when it stops your Discord from updating, it's stuck in an ever updating loop. Which
Now, I've never
which
had it
is
that bad.
life. Which really is life, to be honest, if you think about it, a never ending updating loop. Except when you die, at which point you crash. So
Why do conversations like this happen so often?
yeah, it just seems to be a pretty standard thing. So anyway, last time we had the same people we have now. We've got Shai here, Cohen, and Rick.
Hello.
The party was investigating the docks. They found a box in a abandoned warehouse. They found a statue. It wasn't happy. It tried to stop them from taking its box. It failed. They took some of the stuff out of the box.
I put it into a headlock.
We all had a good time.
You
I
put the statue into a
Yeah,
headlock, not the box.
Yes. I put a statue of Anubis into a headlock. I'm happy, that's all.
Yes. The party currently doesn't know what happened to the rest of the contents of the box. Having taken what they deem to be the most valuable or pertinent items and taking them back to the lodge. Did you go back to the lodge?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I didn't. I went to see a back alley doctor first.
So that means you haven't slept yet.
Depends on how long after this is. We took a time skip, so I paid the doctor and I only just got in when we broke last time.
Well, I think it would be safe to assume you all had a little nap, yes?
Well, if there's a bit of a time skip, then yeah.
I mean, I usually assume there's a time skip of sleeping during every day, so yeah.
Right.
Those days. I remember those days.
Yeah.
I've been up since 4 o'clock in the fucking morning.
Yeah, so that's your own life choices there, Rick. So.
It is.
I'm sorry, you are the one who decided to become a Morris dancer.
No, I didn't. I was born this way.
You are the nation's disgrace.
Wow, that's harsh.
I'm sorry, do you have any idea how hated Morris dancing is in the UK?
Why? It looks so cute.
Far
don't
less hated
understand
now
it.
than it used to be.
Here's the thing, I actually don't have a problem with it, but I'm still gonna make jokes. I actually like Morris dancing.
It seems so cool. Cute is the wrong word, but it's like a cool thing.
Well,
I'd
I'm
watch
gonna be honest. Like, for as long as Rick claims to be the cause of why the sun came out today, I can blame him for waking me up with it. So it's all good in my book.
Alright, anyway, so enough of the stupidity.
I mean, I think that's pretty difficult, to be fair, Cohen. That's every day. So, yes, you got some of the artifacts, and I believe when we broke off last time, you were planning on getting them examined by your contacts at the museum. Am I correct, Rick?
Yes. Well, going to the museum anyway because we know that they were expecting a shipment that was on the ship. So,
And that they had already received one.
yeah. So essentially seeing what else is there. If anything else that's turned up at the museum seems to be out of the norm. You know, for ancient Egyptian artifacts. Unfortunately, our resident Egyptologist is not resident tonight.
Yes, she unfortunately can't speak worth a damn. So we politely advised her to not bother.
Pretty much.
Which is pretty much why the last session didn't happen, because John couldn't speak.
Yeah, unfortunately.
We have vocal problems.
Yeah.
And I'm the only smoker present.
Yeah, well...
Anyway, so James is gonna get up after actually sleeping off whatever the fuck that back alley doctor gave him. and walk to try and find everybody else and see what the hell's actually happening.
Okay. Okay.
I have no idea. Do you want to help me out? Just save me some time actually having to wander around this layer.
I mean, you're the one that's wandering around. You can just
Okay,
skip to you being there.
Yeah, I meant in terms of moving the token.
I mean,
we're not going to be using this map, so it doesn't matter.
No.
Fair enough. So I'm going to kind of wander and go. So, where have we got to with the weird things?
well, they appear to be Egyptian.
I just look at you with utter disdain.
Not a fan of Egypt.
No, I think that's pretty obvious with the, giant dog god statue thing.
I mean, that's fair. Yeah.
Lots of cultures have giant dog gods. Admittedly, very few cultures have Anubis, but you get my point.
Well, actually, that's one thing I do want to say. So, you investigated the statue's origins last time, yeah? During the break.
Mm-hmm.
You seem to be under the impression it's Anubis.
Oh, is it Set?
It is Set, yeah.
Ah.
I would be too dumb to know the difference, so I just went with dog god.
Same. I have a pretty dagger.
I
think
mean-
it's the one.
I don't have Egyptology trained, but I can read Egyptians and would be able to tell the difference between how Set is spelt and how Anubis is spelt, even though the spelling of Set is probably just as mind-bending as the spelling of Anubis. The spelling of Anubis in ancient Egyptian transliterates into Latin alphabet as JNPM.
Yeah. Well, just so you're aware that although it is I did describe it as jackal-headed, in actual real life information, Set appears to be more of an aardvark. Is that? That's really weird. Like,
Okay, well, I can only go with the description that we were given last time, since I didn't know about this bit.
I mean, it's also a jackal, but the one on Wikipedia uses is an aardvark, which is really weird.
Okay, that's odd.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Moving on.
Go back. Disdainful look. Well, of course it bloody well is. Would you like to tell? Would you like to say what the next bit is? Like what we've learnt? Like why a statue was trying to kill me?
Have we learned anything about why a statue was trying to kill Withering?
Not really.
I'll pass this information on.
I mean, I could, point out some obvious maybes, but I think you can do that yourself.
Yeah, even James can do some obvious maybes.
I remember appropriately little about Set for how much my character knows about Egyptology. So, other than the fact that, there was a guy who'd apparently killed our contact down there who was bringing the statue to life.
Who was using magic, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, and what about that fancy dagger that Hazel's looking at almost too lovingly, almost
Hey.
stabbingly?
I'm not stabbing anyone with it, but not yet.
I back
But
off
I'm
very
considering it.
quickly.
I mean, you can look at it, but
I am
I'm just
right
saying
at
I
the
haven't
other
done
end.
anything
I'm at the
bad.
other side of the room now.
Just imagine you just... But I'm not stabbing anyone with it yet, and Withering just starts going, nope, nope, and walking backwards until he's out of sight.
What have we learned about the shiny dagger? From
Uh,
outside the room.
It's sharp. And
It's
probably
Egyptian.
Egyptian.
Can I suggest that we find an expert on the subject?
Worth trying the
Sure.
museum.
Actually, Rick, you probably, being a physicist, you could probably do it yourself.
What, Egyptology? I think you
No.
may have studies mixed up, John.
No,
That's-
the dagger. The dagger. You can read the Egyptian, so you can tell it is it is some form of dagger.
There's writing on this dagger. It appears to say dagger.
Dagger.
No, it's you can tell quite easily that it's some sort of ritual dagger. But you can also tell from your physics that. Do you want to give me a roll?
Yep. That's a physics. That's a 2.
Right.
Do you have wounds? Oh right, I was the only one who went to see a doctor, wasn't I?
You're
Yeah,
the only
but-
one who could go to see a doctor.
Yeah.
Right then, on that.
I know nothing, Jon Snow.
Okay, yeah, you think there's something going on with it, but you're not able to figure it out right now in your current state.
I think
Would I be able to
it's
idiot
sharp.
savant my way through this and be able to try and guess its meaning?
You won't be
Because I
able.
did spend, because I spent a bit of time looking at the only interest in learning James ever took was in the occult. That is in my backstory.
You can, yeah. I'll give you a knowledge roll then. Yeah.
So that's smarts.
Yeah, smarts.
For the benefit of watchers, of viewers even, what just happened? Oh, he rolled a 10 on a d6. That's lovely.
Okay, yeah.
The smart character said, "Let me tell you about this thing. I don't know about this thing." And the dumb character went, "I know about the thing."
Yeah. So.
I have punched many people wielding things like this.
Rick. Okay, everyone. Rick, you're trying to examine this and figure out what's going on, having never seen something like this before. Cohen, James, you've seen one of these things before when you were with your last Ripper cell before they lost contact and all died.
Okay.
It has
Why not?
it has accumulated ether and has become a blessed dagger,
Oh,
making it
So,
all the more powerful against monsters.
why would? Wait. So that dagger. Why would they have a blessed? I mean, that makes.
well,
And then I just kind of relay what you just said in those words, just like, why would a monster or a mage, which is evil, have something like this?
well,
I mean,
Oh wait, wait, you found this in the box though, didn't you?
yeah.
That makes more sense.
I suppose it makes sense that it wouldn't want anyone else having it.
Yeah, that too.
Exactly. I forgot that you didn't pick it up off him and you got it from the box.
Yeah, they could have not even known that it was there.
Well, it's a pretty good fucking thing to have. I mean, and then I just look down at my fist and just go, I mean, it can't be taken away like these, but... sorry, it can be taken away unlike these, but...
I was gonna say, well, they can't take a knife, but they can take my fists.
It's been a long, long day.
I know.
And I think
I've
that
been
still
there for
works
most
in
of it.
But I stand by it. What I just said actually works in character. So I'm gonna keep it. Anyway, you contact museum. You mentioned something about things.
Well, the shipment that this was taken from was connected to one for the museum. Possibly even the same shipment. Which might mean we'd be better off keeping quiet about this. I don't know. It would be better to know that before we actually head there. Might actually be better to go to the docks and see what was on the manifest.
Yeah, that's an option.
I don't think the dock people like me.
Leave it to me. I use words.
So, you all go over to the docks?
Mm-hmm.
On the way, I also introduced, since I'm assuming it was roughly in the same direction, I introduced them to my back alley doctor.
Yep. You want to give him a description, Cohen?
He's the sort of person who you wouldn't really want to trust with an old pair of shoes, let alone your life. You know, late 50s, probably spent far too much time in opium dens, but somehow is still kicking around, and I'm still here to tell the tale.
Right. So his house is basically an opium den, and he's really creepy. Got you.
Basically, yes.
That all bodes so well. Nothing about that's awful at all.
No,
How are you still
no,
walking?
The guy is actually a really smart guy.
Do you
He's just
inject
got his
opium or
vices.
smoke it?
Depends how you want to. You can rub it into your legs if you want.
Basically, he's got his addiction. He lost his license, and he looks like the sort of guy who you wouldn't trust with your life. But he's patched me up after basically every fight and everything. I trust him
See-
implicitly when it comes to my health.
See, now you've said that, I'm really tempted to have you make a vigor check to not gain opium addiction.
I'm sorry.
I've never
I'm sorry. I amputated your legs. I needed to sell your feet for laudanum.
That is.
I've never taken it.
Of course you haven't.
That's
Me
what you think.
neither.
After your slip up at the beginning of this session, I just so wanted to take your fists. It's because I'm sorry, you're a good boxer. They'll sell for a lot. I need these.
You just look down at your hands and you're like, that dagger can't be taken away, unlike these, and you just have stumps. You're like, what? How did this happen?
Well, you are still coming around the anaesthetic.
Well, basically, I did start. I'm probably am still under the effects of anesthetic.
So you arrived at the doctor's under the effect of morphine. You left under the effect of anaesthetic.
And
No,
in between,
nothing.
opium.
But you're not addicted. It's fine. You can stop whenever you want.
I look at Hazel and just go, don't joke about things like that. I've seen too many people's lives ruined by this.
We'll let that be some caution to you then.
Anyway, so I introduced you to my mad doctor, who I trust, and who has got me. Hello, Mad Drake.
Hello.
These are people who might come back to see you, and would you please stop blowing that smoke in my face?
Okay.
Yeah, they might come back to see you if you can put down your pipe for 10 minutes anyway.
Ooh, 10-minute surgery. That might be a tricky one.
I'd look at them and just kind of go, he's not as insane as he looks. He actually does do a good job.
Right.
Alex probably starts screaming.
Actually, does this count as danger?
No.
That's good.
Anyway, you head over to the docks.
We've just left the dock.
No, we.
Oh, with a K.
God damn it. Yeah.
So, you arrive.
Gonna go talk to the same person that I saw last time that Withering nearly laid out.
You actually
sorry,
find him.
Just give me. I'll be back in just a sec. Sorry about this, people.
So you find him busy at work, loading some boxes onto a boat or ship.
Time of day is it?
Oof, let's see. Given sleep, let's say maybe 11 a.m.
Morning.
Morning to you. What brings you back here?
I was wanting to ask some more questions following what we were discussing yesterday.
Ah, yes. He turns and he shouts to one of the workers. Alburn, take over. I have some other work to do. And he says, this way, and leads you off to a side room. it's quite a distance away because obviously it wasn't indoors.
Yes, I was thinking a
Eventually
side
gets-
room off what? The docks?
Yeah.
Just
It's
follow me
like-
this way. Jumps in the Thames.
Yeah, swims down, gets into a secret cove. No, it's just he walks across the yard to a building. Gets in. It's about 15 by 15.
Am
There's
I
a big-
going with you? Do you
there's
want
a
me to
big-
go with you?
Do you have anywhere better to be?
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, when you get in, there's a big table. It looks like it has a few blueprints laid out for dry docks, but he just quickly sweeps off the table and he's just like, oh, I asked them to put this stuff away when they're finished, and just starts putting some files away.
I was wondering if we could see the manifest for the shipment which arrived that we were speaking about yesterday.
Probably be able to find out. What do you need?
Essentially, interested parties. I know you mentioned the museum, but I was wondering if anyone else had any stake in any of the cargo.
Oh, he pauses as he's going through the files. And he's like, oh, don't need to look at the file for that. I can tell you, all the stuff on there was a shipment for the museum. Very generous donation, yeah.
A donation. A donation.
Yeah. He carries on looking through and he pulls out the file. It's from a Mr. Ooh, this pretty poor handwriting. Turner? Yeah, it's all to the museum.
Excellent. Do you mind if I take a copy of this?
Sorry
If you-
about that, everyone.
Yes, okay. If you were able to write it out yourself, sure.
I think I have writing materials on me, so I'll take a copy down of essentially everything that's on the list as being in there.
Yeah.
So, the box that we saw, is that down as one item, or are the items that we saw in it down listed separately?
They're listed separately and the box is on there as well.
Okay. While I'm doing this, is there any sort of particular detail that connects these, like the particular expedition?
Yes, they
Yeah.
were all they were all taken from a very recent expedition.
That
They
makes sense.
they found a new tomb. They got in there, had a look around, found some nice shiny things.
Are we talking to the same guy who who
We've
I
read
nearly
the bunch,
punched last
yes.
time? I'm just glaring at him, just going, and just kind of arms crossed, kind of wondering why he's helping you but wouldn't help me.
Apologies for the somewhat hostile associate over there.
He wouldn't help me find a friend.
He just completely ignores you.
As does Holbeck. Right, this should be invaluable to us. Thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome. If you don't mind me asking, have you found anything out?
How, essentially, what clearance level is this guy?
Low.
Nothing concrete yet.
Okay, I hope everything turns out good.
So do I. At that point, would it be best to go back to the lodge to cross-reference this with what we've got, and then to the museum to cross-reference with what they're missing?
That's-
Well, what do you think?
I think it's going to be a case of they're all always going to be missing a dagger since I don't think Hazel's going to be giving it up.
I don't think we should give up anything that was in that room, because there was a statue of Set that tried to kill us, which no longer exists. There's a dagger which is clearly magical. Everything in that box is probably safest with the lodge rather than being on public display.
I would like to point out you didn't take the entire set, you only took what you could carry.
But yeah, I don't think we should be handing any of it over, because if it's in public display, that just makes the museum a target.
If I knew that we did take everything, I'd have probably brought a bag with me so we could collect the rest. Since we're coming to the docks anyway.
So you want to sneak back in there, make sure that no one has found the scene of utter devastation down there, and then sneak back out again with a bag full of Egyptian loot.
Sounds like fun.
I should send you all to Egypt and just have you break into an actual tomb.
That sounds like fun. I think we should do that.
Right. I mean...
I don't really disagree.
Hey, Screamer here does.
You can wait outside.
But then won't you just scream from the danger of being alone?
I'm just remembering the very first words in The Fifth Element, subtitled Boy Shouts in Egyptian.
Yes.
From the moment I saw that, I knew I was going to hate that film.
So, what are you doing?
I'm going to head back to the dock where we found stuff with the bag I would have brought,
Okay.
and try and get everything else out.
Well, as you approach the scene, you find the entire dock area around the derelict warehouse under police cordon.
Is any of them the constable who's always late?
You don't see him.
Oh, shit, no, that's not good.
Yeah,
What's-
probably.
What's so bad, Holbeck? It's police. There was a dead person there. Are you really that surprised?
There was, but you know what I just said about it being best that we know where the things that were downstairs there are, and not making civilians targets. Nothing is more clear to highlight where it has ended up than a police cordon around the area.
That's true.
Do we know any police that we can, like, schmooze our way into there?
Museum is my vote now.
Oh, this would be so much easier if we had Buckman with us.
Are you trying to say that I'm not a respectable gentleman?
I'm trying to tell you, you're not a police officer.
Yeah, I've got nothing here. Bankers I could deal with. Bankers I'm good with. Policemen I don't know any.
Yeah, one.
Yes, unfortunately. Otherwise, disposed.
Who are you talking to?
The voices.
So,
Why do you think I scream?
museum?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I'm assuming we're talking Natural History Museum here.
It's not natural.
Why did I say natural?
The British Museum.
I have no idea why I said the natural. I'm thinking, don't say Natural History Museum. That's the only thing I can think of. Is like I was thinking to myself, don't say natural, don't say natural.
What about natural? Fuck.
Oh.
Fuck's sake.
Yes. So yes, the British Museum. Where all the British things stolen from overseas go.
Yeah. The best place.
It's quite lovely, though.
It is, but it's like, come, view our 200 years of theft. It's what
I'm
we
sorry,
do
you're
best.
speaking like you don't believe in Crown and Country.
Oh, you don't believe in colonialism?
We're in Victorian period. Everyone believes in it.
Yes, the Victorian period, when the monarchy has changed from French to German. Actually, at what point did they change from French to German? I forget.
Yeah, well.
We even steal kings and queens. Great.
So, you tootle on down to the museum. It's quite a nice place. They even have, like, staff. It's,
The first do not touch sign I see, I immediately touch whatever it's saying. Do
Oh
not
my
touch.
gosh.
You are the worst.
Are you trying to tell me that this is not what James would do?
No, I'm saying it's exactly what James would do.
Uh-huh. And we will sigh and disapprove.
honestly, I'm really tempted to just have one, like, you know, try and tag a do not touch sign to yourself. But yes, you arrive at the museum. It's all quite fancy and museum-like. Hopefully that's not a description for you.
Yep.
It's the British Museum. If you think it looks quite old now, that's because when it was old, it looked quite new. This is then.
I was actually thinking in my head like what it probably looked like then, and probably not a lot different, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hello there, Mr. Turkey. Yes, yes. I love this advent of wonderful audio calls we are receiving from you, Ollie.
That was strange. When you said Mr. Turkey, I was thinking, pardon? And I checked the Twitch chat, and then I just heard noises in the background that could have been turkeys warbling, and just thought, has something got into John's bedroom?
No, that was Ollie joining the chat with what was either actual turkeys or siblings. They sound quite similar, so I don't think anyone would really know the difference.
Okay, I'm literally just following Holbeck here because this is not something James does very often, is, you know, anything remotely learning based.
Yeah.
Look at
definitely
me,
more
I live in
backup
music.
muscle.
I live in museums. There's nothing dangerous here. Everything's already dead.
And as he says that,
I'm gonna regret saying that on both counts.
It's not like we just fight a statue.
just as he says that, I jump from behind something and shout boo.
John?
Does that count as danger?
I don't know. That's the thing. Do I need to roll against it, or what do I need to roll if I do?
Is perceived danger different than actual danger?
I mean, kind of. Like, what is the hindrance actually worded as? But I'm just gonna say no because I don't want to spend 5 minutes looking at the wording of screamer for when someone says boo.
I mean, yeah. Anyhow, I would like to get through to someone who's actually vaguely in charge of this. I mean, we should, because of having been on Egypt expeditions, Aranea and I should know someone here who's connected with Egyptology.
I will say, as we approach this, I do start not playing around. I actually start being more attentive and actually trying to, you know, sense once we actually are doing something.
Right. So, who are you trying to talk to? Are you just like wandering around the museum trying to find someone you know, or?
Someone we'll know someone at the museum connected with the, ongoing digs in Egypt, because of having been on digs in Egypt, which this is the only place that would really be connected with them. So, you know, most of the things that we found there would have ended up here. So, whoever was related to that.
And how are you going about finding them?
Oh, they won't be in a public-facing part of it. Or if they are, they'll be doing a tour of the exhibit. Actually, that might be a good place to start. Go up to where the exhibit is or is going to be. The chances are that they're probably going to be preparing for the exhibit, which is going to mean that the room is empty, and the person who's actually in charge of the exhibit may well be supervising. So that's probably the best place to find them, in a room which is currently being fitted out for a new display.
Okay, so you have a wander around, and eventually you find the room that your friend is in. It's a pretty empty room. It's cordoned off, and as you would have thought, it is quite empty, with them still setting things up.
Mm-hmm. I'm just going to try and get his attention over the cordon between
Do you want to
us.
name him, or shall I?
Strudwick.
Strudwick.
Hmm.
Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Okay. He sees you and he's like, "Ah, what brings you here, my old friend?" Oh, what is your character?
But early 20s, I think I have it written down.
It works in an ironic fashion though.
I heard you had a exhibition from the recent dig. Sorry, RNA couldn't be here, but we were just wondering, essentially, what's new, or what's old, I suppose.
He
I roll my eyes very obviously.
Seriously.
I'm playing a Victorian nerd, okay? I'm in my element.
So, like, not that different from real life.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, he's Victorian in real life. He says, come on through. Let me show you."
I do follow after him before he can put back the cordon, just like looking so out of place it's untrue.
Okay, so what can we see here?
You can't actually see anything of note. It's all just set up props at the minute.
Okay, so we're
Yeah.
not in the room with anything that would actually...
No, none of the stocks there. He takes you. He says, "Follow me. I'll show you what we got."
I would like to point out this guy's very chill about having two people he doesn't know showing them old, ancient, irreplaceable treasures.
Are you kidding? Do you know how often people like this get visitors? They want to show everybody. It's like, you know, when you get in...
You make a very good point.
Yeah,
Like, you
how-
talk to any scientist about their research, and they will be, you know, engaged for hours until you stop
I should say that was actually in character, not
them.
out of character.
Ah,
I was talking as James said. Out of character, I know that they would
Still.
they'll talk the four legs off a donkey and convince it to run away still.
That's definitely a phrase.
not one I've heard.
It is now.
No, that's it's Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. The something computer could talk all four legs off some sort of donkey, but only I could persuade it to go for a walk afterwards.
Ah,
Deep Thoughts, I know that much. Yes, Hitchhikers.
My response was in character too, but like whispered.
Oh no, I'm speaking loudly. He clearly heard me call him this guy.
This guy.
well, you are friends with the esteemed Holman. What's your actual fucking name?
Hold it. Oh.
That's not your real name. What is your character's actual name?
Alexander Wilson.
My esteemed colleague Wilson here.
Yes, we call him Willie.
Please don't.
Awkward.
So
Sorry, I couldn't resist that.
he kind of leans into you, Rick, and just says, "So do they do the heavy lifting?"
Mostly.
Ah. You reach the back room, and it's full of these, wooden crates.
Are they the same crates as like the room? Like, do they all match the crate that we saw in the
You did
room,
not-
or
you did
does that crate look repackaged?
You did not see a crate in the room where you had the fight.
Oh yeah, it was just like a box, right? It
Yeah.
was like a
It was an Egyptian box thing.
yeah. Okay.
These are like big,
Crates. Yeah.
crates.
Fair.
And he goes through all the stuff that's there. You see just like these tablets that are still being deciphered because of how badly damaged they are. You see that there are a few mummies that they've got.
I walk over to one of the mummies and just start looking at it, just kind of wanting it to move.
You get a shiver down your spine. Hold back. You get some urge to scream, but hold it in just about.
I just turn to look at Hazel and Withering with a look of, this isn't right.
I got my back to you. I'm looking at a mummy, wanting it to start moving.
I try to essentially gesture to Hazel to get his attention.
I'll kind of nudge him, but I
Cool.
also think you're being a little over dramatic.
Cool. Do you want to make a notice check?
I would very much like to make you a notice check. I do not notice shit with free.
You don't notice anything. You do not notice the sudden spike in melodrama content.
Oh boy, my favourite.
I'm now currently fighting the temptation to start poking the mummy.
It's behind a.
Oh, it's actually behind something, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm still just glaring at it. Not glaring, looking at it, hoping it starts moving so I get to punch it.
Yeah. I was about to say glass. How expensive is a glass in the 19th century? Is it cheap still? Or...
It become cheaper with the advent of the Bunsen burner, so glass at this point wasn't super expensive.
However, health and safety and security was still fairly lax, so...
Yeah. Yeah, it's behind a cage though. Yeah.
So, I didn't actually hear the particulars of the expedition. I hear there was a new tomb, but nothing about anything known about the incumbent, who I assume is the fellow in the cage.
We are still looking into that ourselves.
Oh.
Yes, this is very, very new stuff.
How did you know the location of the tomb?
Oh, we didn't. This was all a donation from someone with a deep interest in Egyptology.
Oh.
I immediately get serious and just kind of go, wait, this donation, who would donate all this sort of stuff? I mean, I'm not a man of education, but even I know that this has got to be more money than the Queen of England has.
I think it was our friend Turner.
That might make sense. Again, I should like to point out, I'm not actually this dumb, I am playing this dumb.
Sure.
Yes. Ooh.
Well,
keyboard appears
since
to be unstuck.
out of character, you had already said something to that effect.
In character, I said something to that effect.
Did you? I can't even
Yeah.
remember in
I
character.
don't think. I think it was when you got up for a moment, and I was just gonna say that.
I don't know. It was when he got back, because then I went through the manifest.
But
No,
it was
you
also-
would finish the manifest when I got back.
But he also wasn't really sure. He kind of like was like, "Oh, the handwriting's not good." So we might want to
Yeah.
confirm that if this guy's willing to like let that spill.
Okay, so I'll stick with what I said then, and just say, so
Yeah.
who donated all this? Who? I mean, it's got to be more money than the Queen of England.
Oh, I'm not. I'm not. I don't have that information, unfortunately. I just deal with the items.
Is there a way of telling if somebody's lying? Is there like a skill in?
I think it's just notice. Although I think bullshit detect is gumshoe, so I can't quite remember what if Savage Worlds has something.
Well, if you're cool with me rolling whatever it is that you want me to roll.
I mean, if you don't have the skill, it's a D4 minus 2. So.
Well, if it's notice, I have it. I have it.
I'll let you roll notice, sure.
Still not good.
No, you completely believe him. And why would you have any reason not to? He's clearly telling the truth.
I know this guy better.
I mean, I just told you, Rick. He's telling the truth.
Okay.
How
Yes,
could
but now we know that because he's actually been investigated, not because.
how could you doubt an old friend like that?
Because I know him.
Wow.
Is it alright if I poke this mummy?
It is
No.
not all right.
But what if it moves?
Then you have bigger things that are problems.
Exactly. I need to find out whether I have bigger things that are a problem.
I'm so sorry. You can only take him anywhere twice. The second time to apologise. Is
I
that
move
sigh
away-
going anywhere, John?
I move away from the cage with his sighing and it's almost like he's almost a feeling. And but as I move away, I do say to Hazel, if that thing moves, I'm gonna be really annoyed that I didn't poke it now.
Absolutely. I'm
Don't
with you.
encourage him.
I'm just agreeing with him. I mean, I do agree with him. I'm gonna be more than, upset if it moves.
You could probably be dead.
Yeah.
Poking it is not the answer.
But it would tell us if it moves. I don't trust all this old stuff.
No.
Right.
Nor do I.
So is there a way to find out if anything is missing, or is this dude just enjoying what is actually here?
Yeah, he's just enjoying what's there.
Can we, Is this all the artifacts from the dig, or is there...
Of course, this is all the artifacts. Why wouldn't it be?
You don't sound very certain.
He kind of looks around and is just like, well, don't tell anyone I told you, but we actually had a break-in the other day. Last week.
To the museum?
Yeah. When everything was being unloaded and collected at the museum, we had someone make off with a chest of artifacts.
Grief. Do you know anything about the artifacts in the chest?
No, we never got around to analysing them.
Hmm.
John, I would like you to make a decision as GM here.
That's usually what I'm doing.
My hindrance code of honor. Is on my
Well,
character sheet
that
written
is-
out.
that is entirely you.
I hate myself for what I'm about to do. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Are you
not
gonna
do
poke
it.
the mummy?
Do not do it.
No, I have a hindrance code of honor. I have to live by what I believe is right. So if
Ah.
this was stolen, we would have to return it. So I'd have to let him know.
What?
So I look at him and go, but wait, what? If it was a box, I kind of hold out the dimensions, and then list the contents I know of it.
He kind of tilts his head and says, "I believe that's what was missing. Yes,
We found it.
you found it."
Yeah, it was in a dock.
I'm afraid it's an
We can
unfortunately long story.
We're quite happy to return it all.
Just
Untouched, obviously.
Return. I thought. Wait. So you're saying that? I mean, I thought the police had recovered everything. They still have. They said they had a box. Are you saying that?
I thought we had the box, John.
No,
No.
you took some of
Oh.
it, but not the box.
I
and
would
everything.
I'd have only told them what we took then. I wouldn't have told them.
Just
we
the
didn't-
dagger.
We didn't take the box.
Okay. He says, well, thank you for your efforts in recovering it. I, of course, be most grateful to receive what you recovered.
And I kind of look over at Hazel and say, did you leave that back at, did you leave it back?
I did. I'll
Okay,
have to go back and get it.
We'll have to bring it back.
It turns out that our investigations have crossed paths. I was
I'm
suspecting this, but I
sorry-
wanted to be
sorry
certain of
about-
this.
I'm so sorry about that, Shy.
Just giving. You can't see it through my computer, but even in real life, I'm just death glaring my screen right now.
I've got a hindrance as a major code of honor.
I have a hindrance. I've not been screaming my way through the museum.
I also feel like what you feel is right is not always what is lawful, unless you're a really lawful character.
John, you would agree with?
I would agree. Yeah.
I was acting as he would have had to have with a code of honor.
Yeah, code of honor. Yeah.
With
Code
my
of
background
honor.
and my backstory, I would have had to have acted like that.
Gotcha.
I
Yeah,
am
how-
so sorry.
Have a Benny.
Thank you. Will it save me from the death glare?
Doubt it.
No.
Will
No.
it save him from the mummy?
Oh yeah, speaking of, let me pull up the profile page.
Uh-oh.
Oh dear.
I thought you were like, I have to do what I believe in. I'm poking the mummy.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well. I'm afraid I have a specific code of honor. Mummy
I'm just saying
gets
you need
poked.
the description of my hindrance.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, that's more lawful than I originally thought. Because I'm like, if you are doing what you think is right, you know, sometimes like, oh, if that will help me, it's better in my hands kind of thing. You know, like,
No.
but yeah, that's more.
This is to the detriment of myself, basically.
Yeah.
Right. So we're sure that it is just the box that we've seen that was missing. There's nothing else unaccounted for. Is there anything else that we want to stay in this room with the mummy, which is clearly about to come to life and try to kill us before we go back to the lodge?
I really want to poke the mummy.
Please don't poke the mummy. No one is helped by mummies being poked.
So really, I guess it's time to investigate this Turner dude.
I do not poke the mummy.
Thank you.
I should point out that was based on the roll I just made.
Yeah, I thought you rolled. I got the feeling there with the suddenness of it.
Yeah, that it was basically if I didn't get a success, I was going to poke the mummy.
So basically,
Wait.
you just made a will save.
I was
We're in
so-
an investigative campaign with a character who rolls smarts not to poke a mummy. This is going to go so well.
Oh, come on!
And there was me looking forward to killing you all the mummy. Well, I guess it was not gonna come to life. Guess it's just a regular mummy. Oh.
Do I feel any less urge to scream as we sort of get out of the museum?
Now, do you want to give me a notice check?
Oh boy, do I? No, but go on then. I am somewhat wounded. Okay,
Yeah.
that's a
you're right.
2.
Yeah, you're calmed by the fact the mummy looks entirely normal and doesn't appear to have its eyes following you as you move around the room.
Considering
Wait,
I
its
was-
eyes are visible.
Considering I was having to
No,
fight the urge to not poke it, would I have noticed this?
that's why you made a notice roll first.
Oh, okay. He's made a second notice roll. That's all.
Yeah, but I fluffed it, so it's okay. We're fine. We're leaving. Bye.
Do I get to make a second notice roll or not? Is what I'm
No,
curious.
no.
Okay. Damn it! I should have poked the mummy. I don't know this in character, but I should have poked the mummy.
You shouldn't have poked the mummy. The mummy would have poked
Yeah.
us back.
I'm pretty glad that you didn't poke the mummy. Even like head pat you on the way out.
Even as we're going out, I'm going. I wish I poked the mummy.
Well, it's good that you didn't.
It might have moved, and if it did move, then it would need the rippers.
But
And I
that's
do
what
say that.
it is.
I do say that quietly enough so nobody else hears me talking about the rippers.
I mean, if anyone hears you, they just be like, well, that's a pretty weird guy.
I am also talking about poking the mummies.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So, yeah.
Did you buy 2 children's tickets on the way in?
Yeah, it's a shilling each.
Alright.
2 shillings for adults.
What if there are adults who don't want to be here?
No. I mean, you do still have, the tours and such that are being done, so you could always stay and get your money's worth.
Don't poke
I look at
mummies.
Holbeck and just go, my money's worth would only come from poking the mummy.
Why am I the voice of reason?
And then looking at his kind of almost anger look, I probably just leave the museum.
Yeah, let's just go.
Right, so we've accounted for everything that was missing.
Yeah. Hazel still needs to return with the dagger at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've already looked into Turner, so we know as much. Sorry, it's been a long day. We know as much as we're going to know about Turner. Unless anything else has turned up in the last 12 hours or so.
I don't suppose I have any contacts with the police, do I?
No.
Bookman.
Beyond him.
Ring the dinner bell, I'll
What
leave
about,
there in time for dessert.
Do I have any contacts with private collectors through the bank?
No.
Okay. I'm not surprised. I am basically the guy who comes and knocks and then tells you you've got to leave your house.
So, does anyone have any ideas?
I just look at them and go, maybe there's more at the museum. We need to break in at night.
We don't need to break in at night. Oh,
mean,
there was something I wanted to do when we got back here, but then spent so much time getting Withering away from the mummy he wanted to poke. I can't remember what it was. I honestly, before we left, I said what I wanted to look into when we got back to the lodge, and I cannot for the life of me remember what it was, because all I could think of the conversation that happened then was, don't poke the mummy, just don't poke the fucking mummy. Oh. You have...
I do think that we need to investigate Turner and find out more about him, because he obviously has ties to the missing.
Yeah, but we can't actually investigate him because the police have now covered up where he's dead, where he died. So.
No, that was the missing guy. Turner was the sponsor that hired that dude.
Oh, was it?
And he's the one that donated the goods, so he's connected to both of these.
Oh, then we most definitely need to investigate him.
So, when you get back to the lodge, you find a letter
Uh-oh.
sitting on the desk.
I open it up.
Can
It
you
is
read?
from-
Yes, I can read.
Trying to
It
roll
is from
smells.
Mr. Turner.
Oh, this is... I don't like the look of any of this.
What does it say?
It is requesting some security personnel for attendance during a holiday cruise.
So, I may have just got up. We may have a way in with Mr. Turner.
He wants us to take the dead guy's old job.
I look overly happy. Like I don't realize how obvious a setup this is.
It leaves.
We get
Next.
to go on a cruise.
It leaves on Friday.
I
what
don't
day
want
is
to
it?
drown.
Okay.
I believe it's Tuesday today.
I
Because
don't want to
Monday-
drown.
Monday, you
You've been to Egypt before.
went to the it's Tuesday today. 'Cause Monday you went to the warehouse. Tuesday is today.
You've been to Egypt before. Why are you scared of drowning?
I've been to Egypt before, but never on a boat with a man who I know has killed another Ripper.
Whoa! You have no
No.
proof you did that.
We do not have any proof that he killed him.
Okay, so,
That he
his
knew
previous
one.
security personnel was found dead, surrounded by things relating to an archaeological excavation that he sponsored.
I'm gonna drop all. I'm actually. for
And the
first
moment
time
this
that you've
happens,
seen-
suddenly he is getting in touch with the Ripper's Lodge to find a replacement for Mr. Dead.
I will say, as he says this, you see, for probably the first time all day, James become 100% serious and say, "People when we are working here, people do die. Get used to it." But you are right. Him getting contact here is odd.
Is it odd though? Where else would they deliver the mail to?
That he got in contact with us specifically.
No, not
As-
you. The lodge.
Oh, with the lodge, but
Yeah.
you said he wasn't a member of the Rippers.
He's not, but he's a sponsor, which means he pays money to the lodge
Oh,
for their services.
sorry.
Oh.
I thought, when you said
I
he
thought
was a
that meant
sponsor,
we'd
he
know
was a
more
spon-
about him.
I thought when you said he was a sponsor, that he was a sponsor of the museum, of the of the digs, not of the Rippers.
No, he is a he donated the artifacts from that
Okay.
dig. But before that, I told you he was a sponsor of the lodge, which means he diverts money to the
Okay, so I would have probably ended the thing up with then. People die in this job. Get used to it. And then I send off a reply saying, "You have us," basically to him.
Okay.
I just volunteer Holbeck. I don't actually even ask if he wants to come along.
Hey.
I don't know how I feel about being on a boat that I can't get off of.
I mean, you can get off the boat.
I mean, I could, but
Don't worry, I can swim. It's not that hard. Pretty sure I can swim.
I mean, what's your swim skill?
A D6.
That's the. I think this session gets better from I want to poke the mummy to I'm pretty sure I can swim. Ah.
James, the most reliable of all people.
Clearly. Yeah, swimming is based on agility, so you probably
Yeah,
could.
I got a D8 in agility and a D6 for swimming.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Right, so that is on Friday. You have a couple days until it is time. Now, those of you that are wounded,
It's always time, John.
yes. Those of you that are wounded will Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. On Wednesday, we'll have another chance to roll Veer to heal a wound,
Ooh.
Or they could go see my mad doctor.
and we'll get no benefit because it's been an hour since they were wounded.
Oh yeah, shit, that's the point. I went straight away, didn't I?
Yes. And congrats.
I'm unwounded. Why did I get a... Oh, I have a +2 to it. Okay.
Wait, why do you have a +2 to it?
I don't know. I don't know, John. It's been a while.
Please find that out.
I don't know. It's just in my attributes. It's Vigor has a +2. Why? I don't know.
No, seriously. Why do you have a +2?
Oh wait, no. Spirit also has a +2. I don't know.
Okay, let's put a break in there for the video. Rick, I'll look through your sheet and I can come back in 5 minutes.
Okay. See ya.